Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, we have a lot to talk about today. Even some updates in relation to the Epstein files, because Republicans are still blocking the release of that information. Hey, good morning, period. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Sanopa. Good morning, Tawana. Good morning to you all. Moonchild, good morning to you. Clearview, good morning to you. And I started to get on yesterday, but I was still recovering from my dentist appointment, so I wasn't in a position to do so. Hey, Kimberly, good morning. And it was kind of a good thing because information kept changing. So I was, in many ways, I was happy that I wasn't on, because it would have just been a conversation of constantly changing information, a lot of information not being accurate. And yeah, so let's talk about what the hell happened yesterday. We know that Charlie Kirk is no more. I don't know if you've seen that video, but if you haven't seen the video, be mindful that if you watch it, it is something that is extremely, like, it's hardcore. It's hard. I was shocked too, Moonchild. It's hardcore. So if you have not seen that video and you're a person that might have a tough time watching graphic things, it's not going to be for you to watch that video. However, if you look, I'm trying to look. Oh, there's my ink pen. I was like, where's my ink pen? I dropped it. However, otherwise, okay. So let's start at the beginning. It was brutal, Charnel. No, it wasn't no accident, Julie. It was a lot of things, but that was not an accident yesterday. That was intentional. 858, listen, you won't see me say anything different than you'll say. I'll say this. I'm going to start off here. That Charlie Kirk passed doing the thing that, oh, you saw it by accident. I got you, Julie, now. I didn't understand you the first time, sweetheart. I'm sorry about that. Charlie passed doing what he loved to do, and that was being controversial. Chandler, get out, beloved. Don't nobody care what you talking about. Go talk in MAGA circles. I don't waste my time talking to MAGA. So, and it's not going to change today because of Charlie Kirk, right? Not going to change today. So if I wasn't talking to you before, just note I'm still not going to talk to you. Nothing's going to change there. Okay. So Charlie passed doing what he loved to do, being incendiary, controversial. And that's what, I mean, yes. Now, don't lose sight of the fact, it's something I don't want y'all to forget about. See, a lot of conservatives right now want to say the liberals are so mean-spirited and they're so mean-spirited and they don't understand. They need to have a heart with this. Liberals do have hearts. We do have hearts. But at the same time, I don't understand. I'll say this. Charlie Kirk said himself, right? This is something that we can't lose sight of. Hold on, I gotta find it because it was a thing that I gotta find it. But Charlie Kirk essentially himself was like, listen, don't feel empathy for this. Charlie hated empathy. So why are we expected to have empathy when Charlie said that's weak? See, this is where your words matter, right? This is where you have to be careful about the words that you use. Charlie promoted no empathy. Yep, he sure did, Miss Bell. He said, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. Charlie said that. So I'm looking at conservatives going, oh, now we're supposed to care. When did that happen? We're supposed to have empathy now. Yep. Think before you speak is the exact thing. Your speech matters. And Charlie thought he could say anything. Yep, he said empathy was a made-up construct. So we're supposed to feel empathy today for Charlie for, the only ones I feel empathy for, frankly, are his children. Those are the only ones I feel empathy for, are the kids. I don't feel empathy for Charlie because the children didn't have, you know, a fight in this. The children, you don't get to pick your parents. You know what I mean? So for that, I feel for the children because they will not have a father around. However, to the point that somebody else made, where they also don't have to be exposed, well, that's not true. See, that's the other thing I was about to say. Yeah, Charlie Kirk said no empathy. He said empathy was a weakness. Conservatives just want you to forget, because remember, every time a mass event happened, at a school, conservatives just said, what did they say? Thoughts and prayers, right? They didn't care about nothing that happened to those children. Nothing. Yep, and remember in June, we just had some elected officials that lost their lives. Trump made no comment. Conservatives kind of acted like it wasn't a big deal. Think about it. That's what happened. Conservatives act like it wasn't a big deal. You know, listen, I'm glad you care, M. I'm glad you care. That's great that you care. Just, you can care somewhere else. You just can't care here because that's not what type of party this is. We're not a party of that. That's not what's happening here this morning. Yep, Trump lowered the flag half-staff at the White House for a white supremacist. He didn't lower the flag half-mast for the elected officials that were killed. He didn't do it, but he did do it for Charlie Kirk. That's letting you know. Today is September 11th. Trump will spend more time worried about Charlie Kirk than he is worried about the fact that Americans, I just need y'all to understand, you are less safe than you were after September 11th now. Because you don't have a functioning government, right? Yep, you're right, Lavon. When you spew hate and violence, it will come for you. You have to be mindful about the things that you say. Real talk. Words have value. Words really do have value. It does. Words have value. Bye, Nelson. You can't be here. I'm very selective about my community. It doesn't change because Charlie Kirk is no longer here. Nope. It gives more credence to the reason why I'm very funny about who gets access. And I'm mindful about the words that I use and what I say. My mother taught me you can't say everything you think. Because sometimes the shit you think ain't okay. Sometimes it's not okay. Folks forget about that. They forget about that. They just speak to their feelings and shit. Anything they think, they just say it. But what happens now? Nothing happens now, Ron. Republicans are going to act like nothing ever happened because they're not going to want to do any changes to pew-pew legislation. Now, somebody did make up a good point. They said Democrats should present some new pew-pew legislation in Charlie Kirk's name. And watch Republicans still vote against it. They wouldn't change the laws for the babies. They don't. And keep in mind, there was a pew-pew event, a mass pew-pew event at a school yesterday. At a school. The president didn't even mention that at all. I already took care of it. The president didn't mention that at all. Happened in Colorado yesterday. Didn't mention it at all. They don't care. Y'all got to understand. Charlie stood for something for them. They care about that. They don't care about your children. They don't care about your kids. Notice, none of them are mentioning that shit. Hell, even Fox News said this is different because Charlie was one of us. They don't give a fuck about kids. Exactly, Mary. Charlie who? Like what? I'm supposed to care more about what happened to this man than I do about children in schools. They can't even go to school and be protected. School just started. It's only September. School just started. School just started. It just started. and the kids already ain't safe. And instead of Americans being concerned about that, the insecure men, the men who love men, who claim they love women, are crying over Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I'm going to say it and keep on saying it. The men who say they love women but cry over men are crying about Charlie Kirk. He made his living spewing hate and division. That's what he did. He made his living doing that. So, you know why they so sad, honey? Because Charlie made them feel strong. They need somebody new now. Now conservatives are gonna fight over who gets Charlie's position. That's what's gonna happen now. Who's gonna get to take over Charlie's position? MAGA didn't radicalize Charlie. Charlie's a good old homegrown racist. And was a racist before MAGA even came along. Y'all love to believe that. Let me tell you something. When it comes to America, you know something that's as American as apple pie? Racism. Misogyny. Ignorance. That shit is as American as apple pie. Charlie Kirk didn't need Trump for that. More than anything, Charlie Kirk helped to validate Trump, not the other way around. And I'm no Charlie Kirk fan, but I know for a fact that Trump didn't elevate Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk elevated Donald Trump. Trump needed Charlie Kirk, not the other way around. And that's a fact. And I'm no Charlie Kirk fan. But I know Trump don't like this situation because that was one of his biggest carriers of the message. Yep, Charlie Kirk brought a lot of young men to Donald Trump. And you know what's funny or ironic? Charlie Kirk brought all those young men to Donald Trump. And Charlie Kirk made a lot of money doing it. And all those young men that came to Donald Trump are more poor now than they were when Trump came back in office the second time. You're right, Cajun Kelly. His message was the gospel. I have gospel too, beloved. I love the edges cut off my sandwiches. Get to work. I don't listen to conservative women. Conservative women can't tell me shit, but what time is dinner and if my laundry is finished. Bye. I told you. I do not let conservative women in my lives. You can't tell me shit. I listen to liberal women, but conservative women, no. You want me to talk to you, you need to send your husband. Okay? I might talk to him. But if his grammar and spelling's all fucked up, I ain't gonna talk to his ass either. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna waste my time, lowering my standards talking to that. And then I saw somebody else ask why. They'll never know why because they got blocked too. See, unlike Charlie, I don't have to be that in order to say I don't rock with what you talking about. You understand? I could just say, well, I don't want to hear it. I'm good. Leave that over there. I can always tell when MAGA comes in because I can smell the ones who use washcloths and the ones who don't. Yeah. Charlie did help with some stuff. He helped get young men to Trump. And now those young men are more poor. You say attack on free speech is an attack on all of us. That ain't what y'all say. That ain't what y'all say any other time. Bye. Get it sexy. Get booty sexy. Hey. I know you didn't think calling yourself sexy was going to keep you in here. That won't work. That won't work, beloved. That won't work. Right? What y'all want us to do? The chickens have come home to roost. No, Charlie Kirk wasn't turning on Trump. Not at all. If anything, Charlie Kirk was trying to get everybody else to ignore the Epstein files because Trump was saying, ignore the Epstein files. Mary, I like the crust caught off my sandwiches, beloved. You've been blocked. You're not supposed to be in here messing with your husband's internet, talking like a liberal woman. Go cook something. You didn't think I was going to see you, boo? Of course I was going to see you. I read books. My eyes are very good. Okay? My eyes are very good. All right? What they say? Jonah, you just caught the work too, beloved. Bye, beloved. I love how y'all look. Attention, attention, all Walmart shoppers. Attention, all Walmart shoppers. Please move your cart to the side of the aisle. We have that Negro woman back on TikTok again, and she's talking about our president and Charlie Kirk and pointing out the hypocrisy and how full of shit we are as conservatives. Mildred, put down the rice, girl. You can get that minute rice in a second and put down that tuna too. Okay, get your ass on TikTok. Pull out that government phone that you got because you can't afford your own cell phone. And get your ass on TikTok. Thanks for shopping at Walmart. Y'all only get in your feelings about my Walmart announcement because you identify with it. You're right. Charlie told it like it was, Sue. And so am I. Sue, please don't put too much bleach in my wipes because I don't like that. It starts to smell like feet when you use too much bleach. Bye, Sue. Get to work. Laundry to be done. I told you I don't talk to conservatives. God does work in mysterious ways, does he not? Does he not? But again, Charlie Kirk promoted some of this stuff. Again, he was the guy who said empathy, you shouldn't be wasting empathy on things like this. That's what he said. We didn't say that. Yep. Gangs of violence. He was talking. And let me tell you something. The question that he was answering or asking, right? And look, we have more coming in. If you guys could keep hitting that like button because I see the bots come in. Please, reporter. I'm not saying or doing anything that's reportable. I know it hurts, doesn't it, Mac? It hurts so much. You talking about conservative stuff, and we want to stop it. It hurts so much. Shut up and stop fucking crying. Didn't y'all say we supposed to be strong and tough? So then shut the fuck up. You're always whining all the time. Every time you get your same energy back on you, you can't handle it. Rhonda, he was doing the work of God. And you need to do the work of God too, beloved. Okay? Cut the edges off my sandwich. That's all I want you to do. Stop coming in here and you just a guy that's in your mama's basement. We all know it, right? Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Ron, stop it. Not on my live. I won't let y'all do it. Nothing pisses MAGA off more than not listening to them. They hate that shit. Why won't you listen to us? Because I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't care. Why would you want me to listen to you? I'm a liberal woman. Why you want me to listen to you? Why? Why? Doesn't make any sense. You know why you want me to listen to you? Because no one else does. You write those letters to Trump. What do they say? Somebody just reminded me something. God ain't always there when you want him, but he's always there on time. I'm going to say it again. God ain't always there when you want him, but he's always there on time. Okay? I'm going to leave it at that. Always there on time. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time. Hey! Listen. Listen, didn't we just see Sinners in August? Be careful about dancing with the devil. It just might follow you home one day. Did we not just watch Sinners in August? Did we not? He been playing in that pocket of ignorance and hatred and all those things. What do you think happens when you do that stuff? You radicalize people. But I'm going to tell you something else. If you don't look at what happened to Charlie Kirk, right? If you've seen the footage, you look at that and then you look at what happened to Trump. You can keep believing if you want to that what you think you saw is what you saw. That's not what you saw. That's all I'm going to say to that. Yep, I'm going to say it just like that. After seeing that video of Charlie Kirk, and then you saw that video of Trump, you already know that something don't seem right there. Oh, I got mods, LaShonda. Thank you so much. The mods are popping them out. Trust me, we just don't always say something when we pop them out. But trust me, we do. And I thank you all for joining me this morning. If you could, tapping is clapping. Thank you so much. If you could tap that like button, and if you could hit that copy link button, you don't even have to send it to anybody. That counts as a share. Don't forget, last night, the new episode of the Straight No Chaser podcast dropped. What's today? Thursday. Look, so many things have happened. It dropped. It's about how nostalgia lies. How remembering the past, if you're not careful, you remember it, but you're not remembering it accurately. That's how some conservatives are right now about Charlie Kirk. Yep, that's how it is with Charlie Kirk right now. Where conservatives are having revisionist history. Hell, even MSNBC. Have y'all seen it this morning? Have y'all seen it this morning? Good morning, TikTok. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Wake. Good morning. Look, we so happy. But it's not what people think. I'm happy every day, even in spite of anybody trying to stand in my way and do stuff. Thank you so much for the subscription, Sabrina. I appreciate that. I really do. You say, yeah, they did. When those two Democrats were attacked, conservatives said nothing. They said nothing. They acted like that shit was nothing. I didn't forget about that. Yep. Okay, Paul, you saw it this morning too. Because on Morning Joe, they're doing segments called Remembering Charlie Kirk. And you know what they're talking about? You know what they're talking about? They're talking about Charlie Kirk's movement and all the money he made and all the people he got registered to vote for Trump. They're not talking about none of the incendiary shit that Charlie said. They're not talking about none of that shit. They don't talk about none of that. You know, they don't talk. All of a sudden, we don't have that conversation. This is the perfect time to have that conversation. The perfect time. The perfect time. Hold up, I was booting another person who said Charlie wasn't a politician. All the more reason to talk about it. He was inserting himself into places and things, making a name for himself, promoting certain things. And that's not, and somebody brought up a great comment. Don't forget how Mike Lee joked after what happened to those Democratic elected officials. Don't forget about how he joked. You were more important. If you think Charlie Kirk was more important than America, it's okay. You don't have to tell me that you're an insecure man without telling me you're an insecure man. I told y'all the biggest epidemic in America is a lot of weak ass men. That's why you're having such issues in America. It's weak ass men, these soft ass men. They act like very over emotional schoolgirls. Very over emotional schoolgirls. And anything that happens to a man that they're in love with, and I say in love because of look at how they act. They're in love with these men. They dream about these men. They have posters about these men. Screensavers. All of that stuff. All that stuff. All that stuff. And don't forget to check out the after show live on Patreon. The link is in my bio. Because that's when we're going to have an even more unfiltered discussion that we can't have here on TikTok. You know. But I look at all this stuff. I'm telling you, the biggest problem America has is weak ass men. And when weak ass insecure men feel threatened, what do? Stupid shit. That's what America has a huge influx of, weak ass men. And nobody wants to address it. Nobody wants to address it. At all. Y'all, it is so funny for MAGA to keep coming back with the accounts and getting blocked. Reporter MAGA. That's what they say in the comments. Reporter MAGA. Stop her from talking about it. What am I saying? Like I said, sensitive ass men. It's either sensitive ass men or funny ass shaped women. I said what I said. Because I told y'all a long time ago, conservative men love liberal women. Why? Conservative women are shaped funny. I told y'all. Ain't no lies there. Ain't no lies there. Not now, none. Look at the ones who act the most funkiest, who act the most rude. I'm just asking you to look at it. Look at the people who act the most rude, the most disrespectful, the most spiteful. They ain't the best looking. They ain't the smartest. They ain't the most beautiful. You'd be mad too if you had to look at that every day. You would be pissed off. You would be pissed off. Real talk. You would be so mad. That's why they get so angry. They're angry that you're smart. They're angry that you're smart. The thirst of MAGA is so funny. Reporter MAGA. Reporter for having an opinion. It's no free speech. Imagine wanting me not to speak because I don't have a right to free speech, but Charlie Kirk did. Okay. All right. Make that make sense. Thank you all. Make that make sense. Because it doesn't make sense. Yep. Conservatives ran on free speech. Well, I'm exercising my free speech rights too. My rights. It's like, listen. They never minded Charlie speaking his mind. I'm only speaking mine. That's all. I'm only speaking mine. That's it. Yep, sure did. And we forgot about that. When Paul Pelosi was attacked, Charlie Kirk encouraged people to send bail money to bail out the attacker. Did y'all forget? Yeah. To bail out the attacker. And Charlie Kirk specifically said, I think it's worth to have the cost of, unfortunately, some pew-pew deaths every year just to protect the Second Amendment. That's what Charlie Kirk said. That's what Charlie Kirk said. Are we supposed to forget he said that? That's what he said. So it seems to me that more than anything, conservatives should be doubling down on protecting their rights. Now, I want y'all to know something else in relation to this case. They apprehended not one, but two people and had to let them both go because neither one of them were the person. Neither one of them was the suspect. Neither one. But this is what your government looks like when it's not functioning properly. You got Kash Patel? Oh, shit. And remember, they had pushed out so many people. They pushed out all these people. You listen, you know the person wasn't black. In a sea of all that whiteness, you're going to see a black person do something like that. Come on. Come on. That's who we know it wasn't. A black person. We know that. We know that. Hell, even when I see school pew-pews, I know the school districts is not happening in the communities, is not happening in black communities. Black kids ain't showing up at schools to do shit like that. They got an issue with somebody, they gonna take that issue directly to the person they got the issue with. That's the person that's gonna catch the work. They not coming to school to do that. They not coming to school to do that. At all. But no, like I said, if not one, but two people got apprehended and they had to let them go. They had to let them go. Oh, Mike. Even when they drive by the house, the people in that car use washcloths. Bye, Mike. Don't forget to ride. Oh, he was so in his feelings. I love to say that shit to them right before I boot their ass. Because you know they be sitting there. That black liberal woman, she said that shit to me and then booted me out. I'm going to log in my other account and report her ass to the TikToks. I love when y'all report me. That shit is so funny to me. It's so funny to me because they be mad. I'm a damn letter writer. I'm going to let TikTok know they can't be allowing this free liberal speech. Free speech is not just for people to say the shit that you like. Right? I also get to, because they reporting me because I'm saying stuff they don't like. Like they do every day. I just watch. But like I said, when Nancy Pelosi's husband was attacked, this guy said, we need to bail that guy out. Oh, it was a lot of free speech on X yesterday. X was the worst of the worst yesterday. X was the worst of the worst yesterday. He didn't lean left, beloved. But I'm going to tell you where you going to lean right out of this live. Bye, beloved. Charlie Kirk was not a leftist. Nice try, though. Because then I have to ask the even other question. If Charlie Kirk was a leftist, then why the fuck do conservatives care at all? Exactly. Chill out. Ashley, MAGAs want a civil war, but they don't have the knees for it. And they're going to lose it just like their ancestors lost the first one. Just like their ancestors lost the first one. I still don't understand dressing up, cosplaying as a fucking Civil War soldier that lost. Your team lost. Well, let's dress up like losers again, Tom, this year again and celebrate. Who does that? Do y'all do that? Does anybody else do that? Do y'all dress up as losers every year to celebrate losing? Do you do that? Because I know I don't do that. But that's what they do with those Civil War reenactments. They fucking lost. I know you never thought about it like that, but think about it. They lost. Well, you're right. If you're a Cowboys fan, you do the same thing. That's a true statement. So it looks like Civil War reenactors and Cowboys fans have a lot in common. They both like to dress up and celebrate losing. I'm a Redskins fan, so that's why that one felt so good. Republicans won the Civil War. Yeah, but they turned, those were the Dixiecrats, beloved. Read a book. Dixiecrats turned into Republicans. Bye-bye, beloved. That's another thing. MAGA don't like history. They don't like facts. You understand? They don't like facts. Thank you, Ash Shade. I have a lot of fun with these people. They're very, very fun. They're very, very fun. To say it again. Hail to the Redskins. Say it again. I just watch this stuff and I go, you can't expect people to have empathy when the guy who we're talking about says, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage. That's a direct quote from Charlie Kirk. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage. That's what he said. That's what he said. Not us. That's what he said. No. Queen, you are to go make me a sandwich, beloved, and cut the edges off my crust. Lightly toasted, please. Not too much. I told y'all, I don't talk to conservative women at all. Ain't nothing. I only talk to conservative men. Charlie said empathy was a made-up term. Not me. Talk to Charlie. Talk to Charlie. Oh, my bad. Can't ask now. Sorry. I mean, what do you want I just don't want what everybody wants everybody to say. What do they want people to say? A nation in mourning? I'm happy as hell today. I'm not in mourning. It's a regular Thursday for me. Shit, might even take myself out to lunch. Look, wrong button. Yeah, so I'm like, well, listen, Donna, I'm not okay with you coming in here talking to me and you still haven't made my sandwich yet. Beat it, Donna. This is a conversation for adults. It's just liberals talking. So, bye-bye, beloved. I got to let you go. This is an exclusive place. I keep telling them how I like my sandwich, and I've yet to see that fucking sandwich. I want my edges cut off, lightly toasted, a little bit of mayo. Yeah. Matter of fact, give me an egg sandwich, and I like my egg fried extra hard. Yes, it is 9/11 today. It is. And a remembrance of the people who lost their lives that day just doing regular things. We can't lose sight of that. And especially because the country is no safer after all of that. So those people lost their lives for nothing because nothing changed. Nothing has essentially changed. If anything, it's gotten worse. And quiet as kept, it seems to me a lot of Americans actually forgot that shit even happened. It's almost like it's not even real to them. They're so disconnected from it. It's almost like it's not real, which is even more weird to me. You know, that's the part that's even more weird, because if you were alive and old enough to see it, to see as it was going down, that's something that you never forget. Yep, 9/11 did connect everybody, but you know why it did, Ashley? That's a good thing that you brought that up. It connected everybody because America does what America does best. Hate. So after 9/11, it connected America to hate. Think about it. Hate a region or hate a group of people because it needed a target. It needed somewhere to put its hate. So your government gave you something for that. It fed the want and the need. It fed your hatred and your anger, but you should have been mad with your fucking government. Because your government knew about it before it happened, that it was going to happen. They knew that something had been rumored to going to happen, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it because they didn't take it seriously. They didn't take it seriously. And so it happened. Then after the shit hit the fan, then government wants to point an enemy to you, right? Now, I want you to follow my logic here. They told you over 20 years ago, the country responsible for financing most of those terrorists were Saudi Arabia. Now your government over 20 years later looks at you in your face and tells you Saudi Arabia is your ally. Better wake up. Y'all better wake up. That's why I said it's like Americans forgot 9/11. Because you should be fucking incensed and pissed off that your same government now is saying, no, them good peoples. Them good peoples. The same government that told you those peoples financed those peoples to do what they did on 9/11. How they become that good that fast? Pay attention. But you know why you don't notice it? Because they too busy wanting you to worry about who went in the women's bathroom. See? They want your focus on other things. They want you upset, worked up over culture wars, because they don't want you to pay attention and connect the dots on the other stuff. See, if you mad at the trans people, the immigrants, you don't pay attention that your government, your very government, thank you, Chris, for the subscription. I appreciate your support. Your very government is propping up the same people that put money in the pockets and gave tools and resources to the people that did 9/11. Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn. Wake up. I'm not, well, we can get it. I'll get into the building stuff. We'll get into that in the Patreon. Yep, the Middle East community went through a terrible time after 9/11. Why? Because the government needed a boogeyman. The government wanted a boogeyman, so you would stop looking at government and be mad at government that they knew about that attack before it happened and did nothing to stop it. So I got to create a boogeyman. Give you another distraction. Give you another distraction. America is full of selling you bullshit and propaganda. All the reason why telling you got freedom and that you're protected. You ain't got no freedom and you ain't protected. Wake up. Yep, WMDs did not exist. Your government went to the world and lied and said they did to justify an invasion in a country that technically had nothing to do with 9/11. Boop. But it was a great distraction, so you would stop asking why your government dropped the ball on preventing 9/11. They didn't want you asking, so we got to create a boogeyman. We got to create a boogeyman. Yeah, and it was money too, because they wanted that oil. But they had to create a boogeyman. Now, over 20 years later, our United States government is back in bed with Saudi Arabia. Same country that financed the bulk of those terrorists. I keep telling y'all, there's no such thing as a coincidence in Washington, D.C. Everything's intentional in Washington, D.C. And even when they get caught, beloved, that wasn't an accident. They might have had a slip up, but that's when they say, when you catch them, they go, look over there. And y'all fall for it. Y'all fall for it. Wake up. And through all of this, don't forget, Donald Trump is still in them Epstein files. Don't forget, you are so close to knowing about some real raggedy shit that's happening in America with rich and powerful people and children, and they don't want you to know about it. See, Trump likes that this is another narrative to change the discussion in media, but you need to understand, yesterday in the Senate, all Republicans voted to block the release of the Epstein files. Every single one of them. Even Susan Collins. Even Lisa Murkowski. But see, Charlie Kirk's situation will drown that out in the media. Understand, Republicans are working very hard to protect this shit. Ask yourself why. Oh, and a few Dems, and those Dems, call them out. I'm going to look them up today. Look, I'm going to make a note on that, Zarvis. I'm making a note. Because I'm going to make a video about that shit, calling their ass out. Because who's going to protect that? I wouldn't protect that shit. I wouldn't protect it. But you know who protects people who violate children? Conservatives. The party of family values doesn't protect children. The party of family values doesn't protect children. Hey, me, you mind making my sandwich while you on your knees praying to Charlie Kirk? While you're down there, just a little bit of mayo. Just a little bit. Grown-ass man on his knees for another ass man giving that guac 3000. Share. Conservative men, I feel like conservative men, they should have like a theme song. You know what I mean? So every time, say remember that from Trey Songz? Because their mouth stay open. They stay with their mouth. Weird shit. Weird shit. Who does that? Trump is in those Epstein files. No, they didn't. They haven't caught the person who did whatever they did to Charlie. They didn't catch that person. Which means, I was talking with my husband about it yesterday. I said, seems to me this person is military trained. This ain't just a standard issue Joe Schmo. Do you understand? It's not a standard issue Joe Schmo. This is somebody with specialized training. Yeah, it's probably a veteran. Yep, more likely than not. I think, David, that Newsom is awesome. I love him. I'm glad you were here to hear that right before I booted you with your 20 followers. Even if you're not a bot, I don't care. If only 20 people trust you, I shouldn't be the 21st. Well, see, I don't really think it's a setup, Zarvis, because Charlie Kirk advertised this event. Everybody knew about this public event. But I'm saying, they're saying now the person wasn't even 200 yards away. They were 500 yards away. That's somebody that has training, beloved. That's somebody that has training, and that is not your regular Joe Schmo. That person has specialized training. You understand? And I say that because they had the ability to get out of the space without you knowing who they were. See, that's different. That's different. See, we're not just talking about doing what they did. They got out of the space undetected. That's training. That's training. That's what that is. So I have a lot of family that's been in the military. That is a military trained person, in my opinion. That was military grade, baby. All day. Wherever they were shooting at, they wanted to guarantee that they got the result that they wanted. And that's why they haven't been detected. Remember, Luigi was not a professional. Thus why he got caught. He was not a professional. He was not a professional. He was a guy with a grievance, but he was not a professional. This is somebody who has specialized training. Y'all hear that? 5 football fields away. And say it again, Chi-Town, and didn't injure anybody else. And just one thing done. That's a professional. That's a professional. And unfortunately, Kash Patel is leading the FBI, and he is not a professional. You can't use a professional. I mean, you can't use an unprofessional person to find a professional person. You understand? You can't. You can't. So that's a big part of the problem here. The question, I'll say this. I don't know about who sent who, but I can say this. When you have this type of rhetoric, anybody can be radicalized. Anybody. Y'all forgot the last one was somebody that was a conservative. Just because you share the same political party doesn't mean you share all of the same beliefs. Well, you know what? Patel, and I mentioned some of that earlier, but I didn't get deep into Patel. Patel, again, is unqualified for his job. Patel was so busy on the internet wanting to be able to tweet that they caught the person, and twice he had to pull it because they haven't caught this person. The FBI, the head of the FBI, shouldn't be on fucking X trying to tweet in real time about an investigation. But when you have somebody in charge who is really just an internet influencer, they're not qualified to be in that job at all. They're trying to get small wins on social media. And while they're busy trying to get small wins on social media, they'll blow the entire investigation. You'll blow the entire investigation trying to get small wins on the fucking internet. So that even if you do catch the person, you won't even be able to convict them because you was too busy doing too much bullshit on the internet. Yep. And I'd rather that they did it twice. We caught someone. No, we didn't. We caught someone. No, we didn't. Twice did it. Now imagine if the two people they caught, they had treated like they treated those Venezuelans in the ocean that they took out with no questions asked and just telling us the rhetoric of what they think it was with no proof. This is just what we believe it was. Lucky for these men, government didn't go that far. Those men got lucky. Because what if government decided to make an example for them and pew pew first and ask questions later? Our entire government is in shambles. Trump works hard to put our lives in shambles every day. I hope one thing that people learn in all of this is it's okay to have political discourse, but where does the line from political discourse end and propaganda begin? Where does that end and where does it begin? Because I'm telling you, conservatives blur that line a lot. And they spew more propaganda than discourse. They spew more fear than anything else. Listen, if you've been listening to me long enough, you know. Listen, I will talk about things that are concerning. But I don't have any desire to have people that listen to me constantly be in fear. Why would I want that? That's manipulation and playing. I don't want that. But when people are trying to get your money, they want you to constantly be in fear. Constantly be scared. Because when you're in fear, you will do silly shit when you're trying to survive. Sometimes you don't think through and you're not strategic. You just do, you're desperate. So you'll do anything in your desperation. You'll buy anything in your desperation. These people know what they're doing. That's how they get your money. That's how they get your money. Subscribe to my such and such so I can keep you updated on all the ways they're coming for you. What? Who the fuck is coming for me? They said that, like one of the things this morning, one of the people talking on Morning Joe said that this morning. If they've come for him, they've come for us all. I'm like, no. No. I was about to hit him with the Cat Williams. No. Because I'm like, they came for Charlie. They're not coming for me. Bullshit, lies you fucking tell. Lies you tell. You ain't about to sit up there and tell that bold-faced ass lie. Because I am mindful about the shit I say. Because I'm very well aware that just because I'm thinking it don't mean I should say it. There's some things you should not say. Charlie didn't operate like that. Charlie said everything he thought. Everything. And dared you to be hurt by it. Dared you. He didn't care. So if he didn't give any fucks, explain to me why I'm looking. No. I still don't see no fucks. I've been looking for them fucks. I've been looking for fucks for months now and ain't found none yet. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to find any. I am pretty sure of it. Okay? Yeah, but see, I'm not buying even the special reports. Because the FBI already done fucked up twice, right? Claiming they caught somebody but didn't catch them. So for all I know, you ain't found the weapon either. You understand? Because one thing I know about this particular regime, this particular administration, they will say anything to get a win in the media and in the public sphere. That don't mean it's true. That's the thing. That doesn't mean it's true. We'll see if they have a good video and a palm print. We'll see, won't we? That's what they are. Cash Patel said not once but twice yesterday they had suspects. We'll see, won't we? Yep, and Patel did fire the head of the Utah FBI office a few weeks ago. This is why elections matter. And see, I listen to the propaganda that these people are still spewing in trying to claim, let's come together. They said it was a political, event, unalive. No, it was just an unalive event. It was just an unalive event, literally. What they say? Speaking of Cash Patel and tinfoil hats, since you did mention it, look, since you said something about it, I actually did see something the other day. But I don't. Oh, that's JFK. I had JFK with the tinfoil hat. I had JFK with the tinfoil hat. This changes a lot of things in the media right now, right? Now, let me finish this statement before I get to something else. The person that he fired from the Utah field office, she was a woman that had had a lot of success in solving a lot of different FBI crimes. She's very, 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 very good at it. But she was also a minority. Can't have minorities in places of leadership where they're supposed to be mediocre ass white men. So they removed her. See, they removed her because of that. But now we got to look at Cash Patel, Cash Big Eyed Patel, be online and tell us whether or not any of this is okay and makes sense. Now, I'll play that in a little bit. So Gina, you think it's because Kirk was speaking on those 5. Kirk was speaking on it, but y'all forgot. Charlie Kirk also was not all that. He wasn't pressuring anything to be released. He wasn't. Now, did y'all see the footage of Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Where Marjorie Taylor Greene got the Trump birthday letter blown up into a big old poster, and she has it taped on the side of her office wall, so you can't miss it. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene is cutting up, okay? She's cutting up. She's cutting up. Oh, she loves being performative, but you know what? That kind of performative shit this time actually is going to get them damn names read. Yep. That performative shit is going to get them names read on the House floor. I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but if she's going to read those names on the House floor, if she's going to stay on Trump's ass, because she don't think that letter's fake. She don't think it's fake. Oh, I still wouldn't vote for her. See, Marjorie's also trying to do what she's trying to do to try to stay in office as much as possible. But Marjorie still voted for that big, beautiful bullshit bill. So there's no safe space for her in that regard. There's no safe space for her in that regard. She's switching up now, Coco, because she sees that there's a weak point. And also, I'm going to tell you another reason why I think she's switching up. I think Marjorie has been a victim of something herself. She don't have to share her story. That's not really our business. But I think she probably has been a victim of something herself. And I think also, too, she sees an opening for her to take position. Because, see, if you listen to conservative rhetoric, there really is no room in the party for conservative women. Conservative women are accessories. They're really accessories. They're technically, if you're traditional conservative woman, you shouldn't be in Congress anyway, right? You should be at home baking cookies, doing laundry, having babies, right? Marjorie ain't trying to do that shit. She's very ambitious. Wouldn't it be something to be able to take over that MAGA cause and frame it in the way that you want it to be versus in the position they want you to play? Period. She's aware of it. Now, Lauren Boebert is there too, but Lauren Boebert, can I be honest? I'm be honest. Marjorie Taylor Greene is smarter than Lauren Boebert. That's not saying much, but I'm just letting you know. Marjorie Taylor Greene is smarter than Lauren Boebert. And that's a fact. Because see, Boebert's there too, but Boebert ain't smart enough to know how to play this right. She can't use her sensuality or her prettiness. That's not the right environment for this. You need somebody that's going to be on them like a little chihuahua. That's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Marjorie knows how to be sensational. She knows how to be performative. Way better than Lauren Boebert does. Lauren Boebert's just a young, prettier than average conservative. That's what Lauren Boebert is. Marjorie Taylor Greene is your standard issue conservative woman. However, she's smarter than Lauren Boebert. But Marjorie ain't smarter than, say I was going to say Sarah Palin, but that's a lie. She's smarter than Sarah Palin too. But you understand where I'm coming from? Yeah, Boebert was performative for tech. You know what, Dead Buddy, you make a great point. To me, Lauren Boebert is the female Ted Cruz. You know what I mean? Like, they'll say stuff and perform, but nothing ever gets done with it. You know what I mean? Lauren Boebert, she's just kind of there. She's just kind of there. Marjorie Taylor Greene is more strategic in her shit than Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert's just loud. Marjorie Taylor Greene at least tries to be strategic. She tries. I don't always agree with her, but she does try. I don't ever agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, except when it comes to this Epstein shit. Ted's kind of smart, but Ted's very dumb because Ted, I'll say this, Ted is smart. He has a lot of education, but he's a horrible communicator. So it doesn't matter that Ted Cruz is smart. He don't know how to talk to nobody. That's the problem Ted Cruz has. He's shitty at communication. It's like Ron DeSantis in Florida. Ron DeSantis is horrible at communicating. He's not good at that. He's not. He has a personality like wet tuna fish. He just happens to be a part of a party that believes in tribalism. So people going to vote Republican no matter what. That's all. They just going to vote Republican no matter what. But Ron DeSantis is not a great politician. He's not. He's horrible at messaging. He couldn't even beat fucking Trump in a primary. And anytime you say something to him he can't handle, he always got that dumbass look on his face. You know that smile he tries to have when you say something to him? And you be looking at him like, why you don't look at me like that? You don't look stable. He always got that fucking look. Always. Don't lose sight of the fact in all of this. Because see, the media, and this is including liberal media, they love a story like Charlie Kirk. Why? Because it's money. Money, 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 money. It's viewership. Don't get caught up in that and forget. Okay? Because this is about viewership. They're making a lot of money off the story of Charlie Kirk on all of these big time, big media outlets. But guess what they don't talk about in these big time media outlets? They're not going to talk about how you're still hurting, how you're struggling at the grocery store. Nobody's talking to you about that because they want to change the subject because government don't give a shit that you struggling and robbing Peter to pay Paul. Nobody cares. So the conversation is going to constantly change to keep you away from that. Trump just said a couple of days ago, he don't give a damn that we pay tariffs. He doesn't care because he's getting to do everything he wants to do. Charlie Kirk is a great deflection and distraction. The media is talking more about Charlie Kirk this morning than they are about September 11th. Never forget about all those people who lost their lives that day and many days and years after as the result of September 11th, and how your government is now in bed with the same country that financed the bulk of those terrorists. Don't forget. Never forget. I'm going to keep reminding you because your government wants you to forget that. Your government wants you to forget that. They want you to forget. They want you to think it was Iraq. Iraq didn't do that on September 11th. That was not Saddam Hussein on September 11th. That was not. Those were the Saudis. The Saudis that Trump loved the first time, quiet as kept, Joe Biden liked them. Barack Obama liked them. I'm calling it out. It's a whole lot of people love them fucking Saudis. And those were the people that helped to finance September 11th. That government, that regime. And now everybody acts like it's nothing. I can't speak for anybody in this live, but I can tell you it was no way that I could watch the events of September 11th and not be forever changed. Watching people that just went to work to make money to take care of their families and to watch them suffer because everybody didn't go fast. Some people were just trapped in burning buildings with no way out. With no way out. Just this summer, they just identified a couple of more people from their remains. A lot of families still have no closure. 20-something years later, they still have no closure. No closure. You will never be this. I know I was forever changed when I saw people jumping out of buildings on September 11th. I was forever changed. I was forever changed when I knew elementary school children were on the plane that went into the Pentagon. They were on their way to a field trip when that plane got hijacked. You're going to be forever changed. Those were just children. I never forget. September 11th is a thing that I will never forget, never act like it didn't matter. You know why? Because there were so many innocent people that lost their lives, and you are no more safer. You are less safe than you were 20 years ago. Less safe, because your government done cleaned out all these people whose job was to protect you. Trump got rid of those people. He allowed Elon Musk, Kash Patel, all these people to get rid of people that were designed and there to protect you. They made it their life's mission to protect Americans. Not anymore. You got to protect yourself now, baby. You got to protect yourself now. Oh, man, one of your former CEOs were on the Pentagon plane. It was that. And see, during that time, when 9/11 happened, I happened to be doing a special project for FEMA at that time. I was a government contractor. I wasn't working for FEMA, but the company I worked for, we got hired to do some work for them. And some of the things, I've seen some stuff related to September 11th that hasn't been in like the press. It was even worse than I think a lot more people realize. It was bad, extremely bad. And to watch your government right now be weakened by propaganda and lies and rhetoric and division, because they want culture wars to keep us all divided as Americans. But understand, when it comes to America against whoever, nobody cares about your political affiliation at that point. If you're an American, they don't care about who you vote for. Yep, they want us to look left and right instead of up. Our leaders aren't working for us, y'all. And so while Americans are sitting around waiting to be saved, I want to remind you of something. Look at Nepal. Nepal ain't waiting for nobody to save them. They said our elected officials aren't doing the things that they supposed to be doing for us. We gonna change this shit right now. We're not gonna wait. You know why? Because we ain't got the money and resources to wait. The decisions that these people make could put us on the streets. And you know what Americans do? Sit around and go, man, I sure wish somebody would come along and save us from ourselves. Nobody's coming, baby. Nobody's coming, America. Nobody's coming to save you. You better save yourself. Yeah, being homeless is a crime right now. As if being homeless ain't hard enough. Now we're going to criminalize it. Why can't you just keep a roof over your head? If rich people paid their taxes the way they should, we could have affordable housing in America. If rich people paid their taxes like they should, you could have job training, free job training, education. If rich people paid their taxes. Folks, you got to wake up. Between inflation, job losses, violence. Explain to me why America is the greatest country in the world. Golden child, that would be a no. Like Trump said, no. Yep, Trump did say paying taxes is for dummies. He also said it was stupid to join the military. Yet for me to watch veterans take knees for Trump is amazing to me. Folks, y'all need to wake up, man. Now, listen, if you love this discussion that I had with you guys this morning, listen, I'm about to turn on and go on over to Patreon, because I got some more that I want to talk about in relation to this that I can't talk about here because it don't allow it. All you got to do is click the link in my profile, come on over to the Patreon, and you can listen to this discussion this morning, because it's going to be unfiltered, because I got some other stuff to say that I can't say here because they don't allow it, because I get in trouble, right? So the link is in my bio to come on over to Patreon and be a part of this discussion this morning, because I got some other stuff that I want to say. Listen. Like I said, I feel for Charlie's children, but I can't have empathy for somebody who didn't have empathy for not now school child that lost their life just being at school. He never wanted changes. He never wanted reforms. He never wanted none of that stuff. I'm on Blue Sky, but I don't post on there often on Blue Sky, but I do have a Blue Sky account. I'll update my website and put it on there. I just haven't posted on Blue Sky in a while. Supposedly Sunday, TikTok is changing. Yeah, that's when the new community guidelines kick in. Yep, they've been advertising it for a while. One of the reasons why I do some things now on Patreon, so I don't even have to deal with that bullshit. Oh, I saw when Charlie went to Cambridge. Cambridge handed him his ass. That's when he went to Cambridge and tried to pretend to be smart, but it exposed that Charlie Kirk is not smart. He's just loud. You understand, he was a loud guy. He was good at propaganda, but that didn't mean that the things that he said were true. And again, I'm respecting Charlie's wishes today by not exercising or extending any empathy. Charlie was pro pew pew, And he was arguing against pew pew control. So why would I... Yeah. So I'm like, what am I supposed to say? You know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to... What they want me to say? Exactly. And I want to say specifically what Charlie Kirk said about the attacker that attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband. He said, why has he not been bailed out? He said, by the way, if some amazing patriot out there in San Francisco or the Bay Area wants to really be a midterm hero, someone should go and bail this guy out. Bail him out, then go ask him some questions. Charlie Kirk said that. Charlie Kirk. On Patreon, just click the link in my bio. It'll take you to my website, and the very first link is my Patreon link, beautiful. I thank you all for being here this morning. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of the support. Look, we got 178,000 likes. I appreciate that. We had 159 shares. I appreciate you all so much. I really do, because you could have been anywhere else this morning on TikTok, but you chose to show up and talk with me. So I appreciate that. But I'm going over to Patreon to talk a little bit unfiltered because I'm tired of saying pew, pew. I'm like 50 fucking years old. We can't have a real conversation and discourse. You know, I like TikTok, but to have immature ways of talking about shit is ridiculous. I'm like, the fuck, pew, pew. I'm over that. I'm like, I'm sick of the struggle of doing that shit this morning. Now, I want to send a shout out to my top 5 gifters because I do this every live. I thank each and every one of you, mostly for your time, though. And I tell you why, because your time is the most important commodity that you'll ever possess. And once you spend that time, you can't get it back. You can't get it back. So that's why I want to say thank you for spending your time with me. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for spending time with me. And Ma, thank you for catching that. So let me send a shout out to my top 5 gifters. First of all, number 1, beautiful Soyana. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 2, beautiful, my dog is Charlie. Thank you so much, beautiful, and thank you for the moderation assistance this morning. I appreciate that. Number 3, thank you so much, handsome Russ Nelson. Thank you, handsome. Number 4, beautiful Moonchild. Thank you so much, beautiful. Number 5, beautiful Miss Kiki Doodles. Thank you so much, beautiful. And a special shout out to number 6, beautiful Miss Sips T. Thank you so much, beautiful. I appreciate you. So like I said, I'm about to go hop on Patreon so we can dig even deeper because I got some more stuff I want to say about this and I want to say it unfiltered. I'm tired of all these the code language and shit. I've had enough of it this morning. I love you guys and I want to tell you to have a beautiful and great day. And listen to me. Don't let nobody live rent-free in your head, y'all. Don't feed any troubles. And you can accomplish anything you put your mind to. I love you too, Mayor. Anything you put your mind to as long as you stay consistent. Peace, you guys. I'll see you again this afternoon live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on TikTok. Have a beautiful and wonderful day. You can come over, Keon. Say you don't have to pay to be a part of the Patreon to be a part of the live discussion. Click the link in the bio and come on over to Patreon, beautiful. I'll see you guys in just a moment. Have a great day. Bye-bye.